begins again. I don't actually know where the video is going to start. Like, this might be some footage that goes in it, you know. This year, I was given the distinct honor of being a feature creator at VidCon for the 3rd year in a row, which means I had to pack up a bunch of science supplies and take yet another amazing road trip from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Anaheim, California, and back again. The difference is that I was already spending the summer in the Galapagos in Ecuador, which means I had to fly back to the States to do this road trip and then immediately fly back to South America for 3 more weeks, all while editing videos on the fly. I gotta tell you, life as a YouTuber is getting more and more interesting, and this trip was a great example of that. Overall, this year's road trip was weird and exciting, with more surprises along the way than usual, and I'm super stoked to show it to you, so let's get right into it. This one's different. I don't have a plan. I didn't think about this at all because we've been in the Galapagos Islands for the past 2.5 weeks and are coming back here to America just for this road trip and then VidCon and then the road trip back. And then we're going right back to South America for the next 3 weeks. I was trying to get a haircut in between coming back and going here. That didn't happen, so this is just what it is. And not to mention the fact that I just got over being very ill. I got all kinds of sick in the last couple of days that we were down in Ecuador. So like, I've been puking my guts out for the past several days, and I'm shaggy and scruffy and slightly more tan and ready to go on an adventure across the country yet again to VidCon. So for the first leg of our journey today, we're going from Tulsa all the way to Roswell, New Mexico, which is about a 9-hour drive. We're gonna get there around midnight because we got a super late start today. But first thing in the morning, we're gonna get up and see what Roswell is all about. And then we're going straight to Carlsbad Caverns, which are the baddest caverns that Carl has, I hear. As always, we have a loose plan and absolutely no idea what to expect, so come along for the ride. And now we start with these. Hey. One thing that we did differently this year is we rented an SUV. So we actually have like all the room that we need for not only our luggage, but also all the equipment for the stage shows. You can't even see it because they're way back there. And so I don't have my little sedan just jam-packed full of like 2 weeks worth of supplies and also a bunch of science equipment and all the stuff that we need just crammed into a tight little space. We actually have a little bit of room to move around. I feel like we're back in the old chuck wagon days. We got all of our snacks and supplies packed up. We got clothes hanging in the back drying as we go along. We're adventurers.
We're like the pioneers. We got Coke Zero, like big Mercedes.
I feel like each of these road trip videos is a completely different vibe because it's not that I'm trying to get better at doing them. I am. It's that despite my best efforts to get better at doing them, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. You're watching it, so who's really at fault here? Those fucking flamingos. Right now here in Tulsa, it is 98 degrees with a heat index of 104 degrees. Back in the Galapagos, where we came from, on an island on the equator, it is 77 degrees. And it feels like 77 degrees, and it has for weeks. It did the whole time we were there. It was a little chilly at times. What is this place that we're living in? Look at these pipes growing out of the ground. I think they grow those pipes. that?
We're going to Roswell.
Oh my god. In all fairness, she was right. The whole trip would have been a lot more fun if I had brought this thing. Entering back into the Texas Top Hat.
Yeah.
So we're passing in between a town called Hereford and the western border of the Texas Top Hat. And for the past, what, like 30 minutes, this entire section of Texas smells like straw soaked in urine. I don't know what's going on in this particular corner of Texas where every horse and cow came here to dump. I don't know what's happening.
It's gonna offend somebody.
I don't care. Wash your town. It crept up on us, but
Continue on US 60 West.
welcome to New Mexico. I don't know if I got any part of that sign.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to film it. It was so bright. As we crossed over into New Mexico, the vibe suddenly shifted. So, this is now found footage. The full moon and the no street lights. And also, we've seen 2 fireworks stands open and like stalked. It is 10:30 at night in this time zone. It is 10:30 at night and there are fireworks stands like hopping in the middle of June, and we're on a dark country road with like a American Werewolf in London setup coming along. This is the start of an adventure, y'all.
This is where people get abducted by aliens.
This is what New Mexico's all about. This is where we have to turn? Why? What are we doing? Spooky, scary aliens send shivers down your spine. Fortunately, we found a way to keep the fear at bay until we arrived in Roswell. 10 minutes left to go. It's almost midnight. We got the Katamari Damacy soundtrack on. We're powering through to Roswell!
They landed and they're practicing law. I do like the idea of business aliens. Who are those people? Are those people?
There's this guy doing this whole situation over here.
Pistachio land.
Can't get any more alien than Pistachio Land.
It was worth the 9-hour trip.
We made it. Here we are. Home sweet home for the first night. It's cozy. It's cute. Well, 9 hours later, we made it to Roswell, New Mexico, where we will be posting up here at the Roswell Inn. Didn't find any aliens in the room. There's a lot of alien everything. Tomorrow we're gonna go walk around town a little bit, see what we can see, just gonna get the vibe of the place, but we can't stay for too long because then we're gonna drive to Carlsbad Caverns and learn some geology. So I'm gonna put on Brutal Moose and try to get some much needed rest so we can prepare for tomorrow. Good night. All these look weird because I'm like holding the camera above my head. Looks like you're like hovering over me. I don't know about that. What are these shadows? Oh my God. Oh, is that how the whole thing's gonna look? Oh my God. Ooh. Look at me. Look at my ugly fucking face. Aww. It's the morning, and we have set out to explore Roswell, New Mexico, and it's exactly as charming and adorable as we thought it was. So the first thing we're gonna do today is try to find a car wash because the sheer amount of insect parts and fluids on our windshield has like reduced the visibility damn near to zero.
Look at these guys.
I love them. We're gonna get the fucking $12 super whatever.
Deluxe wash?
Yeah, the most deluxe.
Oh, that'd be a super wash.
Yeah, super.
You have selected the Super Car Wash.
Hell yeah. Oh, hey. Wow.
Worth the $12.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's a little better, I guess.
They just landed here. What do you say? They're doing as good as they can.
Made it across the universe without soap. Oh my glob.
We're watching the little spaceship.
I don't like him.
Cute.
I don't like this guy pointing his guns at me. Get out of here. And then we're going to try to wrangle up some breakfast so we can get to Carlsbad Caverns and explore that for as long as we want before moving on to El Paso. Look at this guy. Space burritos.
Oh, were they closed?
No! No!
Oh, it's Sunday.
Son of a bitch.
They actually would have been good
The
for breakfast.
aliens are religious. I wanted to get a goddamn Mars worm. Although our burrito dreams were crushed, we eventually found an awesome little diner which served us some wonderfully American breakfast. This is all silverleaf nightshade growing over here, and then right around the corner is just a big old pile of buffalo gourd. This landscape is very similar to western Oklahoma. Oh my God! We later learned that Roswell is actually a much larger place than we initially realized, and that we were actually just on the outskirts of town. Had we ventured inward, we might have seen some less dilapidated alien things to do, but honestly, we were on a tight schedule anyway, so we headed off to Carlsbad Caverns. All these tall, stocky things out here look like soapweed. They're a type of yucca plant.
It's a historical marker. I'm just looking at it.
A saloon.
A saloon?
Well, there you go.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
In 800 feet, turn left.
Carlsbad Caverns is one of over 300 limestone caves across the Guadalupe Mountains, but you don't even need to enter the caves to be impressed by the natural history of the area. You see, this area used to be a reef which existed in an inland sea which covered this region around 250 to 280 million years ago during the Permian, which means the fossils that we find here are older than dinosaurs. The marine fossils found here paint a detailed picture of what life was like over 200 million years ago. Specifically, they show that the reef was comprised of mostly sponges and algae rather than coral like many of today's reefs. Other marine fossils found here include ammonites, crinoids, snails, nautiloids, bivalves, brachiopods, and even the occasional trilobite. Eventually, the coastline of this massive inland ocean became a layer of limestone over 1,800 feet or 549 meters thick, 2 to 3 miles or 3 to 5 kilometers wide, and over 400 miles or 644 kilometers long. Over the past 20 million years, geologic activity in the region uplifted those reef sediments about 10,000 feet, and from there, wind, rain, and snow eroded the outer sediment layers and revealed the ancient reef once again. At some point between the last few million years, surface erosion and a massive collapse at the top of the cave created the entrance to Carlsbad Cavern. During the Pleistocene, this landscape was filled with the ancestors of today's elephants, bears, and sloths. Native Americans also lived in these mountains as far back as 12 to 14,000 years ago. And all the while, the water above was dripping down into the vast network of caves below, carrying minerals from the local environment to create the stunning geologic features that we see underground today.
Everything just makes me think of you, babe.
And it's important to remember that many of these cave formations, or speleothems, are actually still growing to this very day. Drip by drip, water is still carrying absorbed gases and dissolved minerals to deposit as stalactites, soda straws, draperies, ribbons, or curtains on the ceiling, or as stalagmites, totem poles, flowstone, lily pads, and shelves down on the floor, all depending on how quickly that water drips and evaporates. The sheer magnitude of the structures down here is truly monumental. It's difficult to put into words just how huge this place and everything in it really are. And believe me when I say, the camera does not do it any justice. Unfortunately, as astonishing and majestic as the caverns were, the situation suddenly changed and we were forced to leave.
We gotta get out of here.
Once we got back outside the caverns, we found some beans.
Look at those beans.
And a herd of bighorn sheep.
Yo! Look at them. Bovids.
In a quarter mile, turn
Sheeps.
right onto US 180 West.
Lady, we
US
are
62.
looking at sheep. Shut the fuck up! Hello there. Greetings to you. He's munching. He's munching on stuff. Look at this guy. Just having a great time. Hope you guys are having a good day.
We spent so long staring at that herd of sheep that they eventually started walking into the road, which annoyed the other drivers but delighted me.
Yes! Go forth, ruminants. But they're just tearing up this fucking bush. Yes!
Unfortunately, we eventually had to leave the sheep behind and drive back into Texas in order to get to our next destination, El Paso.
Check it out, you can grill your buns on that slide. There it is. Oh.
Welcome to Texas.
There it is.
This part of the drive took us through some beautiful salt flats, deep into the heart of the Chihuahuan Desert, and up into the Franklin Mountains. The landscape was so diverse and so lovely that even though this was one of the shortest drives of the trip, it was easily one of my favorites.
Well, we made it to El Paso, and it's actually kind of early in the evening, but we've been driving for several hours and then hiking for several miles underground, and so we're gonna go ahead and just call it a night right away. And if I wake up very early, that's great. I've got my laptop with me. I can get some editing done on the biologic series, which, by the way, I edited the first half of that in the Galapagos, and I'm editing the second half of that here on this road trip. I also can't remember if I've already said that or not, but if I haven't, now you know that. Tomorrow, we go to Arizona, so we'll see you probably tomorrow. Goodbye!
Good morning. It's El Paso still, and it's 97 degrees outside at 10 in the morning, and the entire day today is just dedicated to driving to Arizona. We'll be staying in a little town called Tempe, just outside of Phoenix. It's going to take us about 6 hours and 10 minutes to get there, so we're just going to start heading that way and see if we see anything cool along the way. Driving up into the that way mountains. It's crazy. I've flown over Mexico, but like this is the closest we've ever actually just been to Mexico. Next road trip, maybe? Flippin' gorge, yo.
I'm engorged. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Is that it? Is that, did we get the, it says New Mexico rest area, but like I didn't hear a, it wasn't a sign. Oh, there, oh, it's up there. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Man, it's always so slow before she says it. I guess we just don't get welcomed into Mexico today. I guess that's just it.
Well, I'll say it.
Yeah, you say it.
Welcome to New Mexico.
Yeah! Man, if anybody's watching this and like trying to keep track of like our progress. It's like Texas to New Mexico to Texas to New Mexico to Arizona. It makes no sense.
We hadn't been back on the road for too long before we saw some signs for a desert bot, and you know we had to stop to check that out.
We're gonna go see the fucking desert bot. There's a little town.
You seen a desert bot anywhere?
I'm seeing a goddamn lie.
Maybe it's inside. I'll go inside and look.
Go inside somewhere.
This is cute though.
It's a facade.
Well, literally this whole thing is a facade.
Yeah, this is like fucking Blazing Saddles up in here.
It turned out that the desert bot actually wasn't a lie.
Well, I'll be damned.
Also, this store had an impressive selection of fireworks at remarkably low prices. It really was a sight to behold.
Well, we saw it, and then we bought some prickly pear taffy and a bunch of fudge and a pack of M150s. What the hell just happened? No, there's both fudgy and wudgy. Okay, bye.
But as we tried to get back on the road, we were quickly assailed by a myriad of signs for another roadside attraction.
I don't know what the fuck is this.
The thing? What is the thing? I guess we'll find out, right?
We stopping at the thing, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop at the thing.
Oh my god.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I guess.
The signs for the thing just kept coming. There were dozens and dozens of them along this road.
Just to see more signs.
They're everywhere.
Aliens versus dinosaurs. What?
But you're just saying words now.
As excited as we were, there were still over 100 miles between us and the thing, so we hurried along into Arizona to have our curiosity satisfied.
Welcome to Arizona.
All right.
After around 2 hours of driving with bated breath, we finally made it to the thing.
Hey, can you come hang out today? Nah, I'm busy. Oh my glob.
The Thing is a walk-through pseudo-museum which is centered around the question, what if? It's not interested in answering that question. The whole museum just makes bizarre and outlandish claims and then asks you repeatedly, what if this was true?
Why does it have teeth inside of a beak?
You know what he's screaming? Can you believe you fucking spent $10?
Yeah. They had a hive mind, they put it on the dinosaur. Whoa. Jackalope. Oh, fuck.
At the very end, they showed a $10 bill behind the glass case. The biggest mystery of all is that this is how much you paid.
It's just what they're claiming to be bones, and then they're saying, what if these were used in some great battle? That's just, you can just say that. You can say anything after that. It's radical.
But they're using dinosaurs.
Yeah, because the dinosaurs are already in the hive mind. They have the helmets. It's not their fault. Oh my fuck, babe. It was their fault. They did it. They're the ones who are responsible. Oh, we gotta go deeper. You know what? I didn't expect this to be the next room.
What if this wagon was used to transport the thing?
What if it was?
No evidence for it.
You don't know if it wasn't.
What if this buggy was used by generals and officers during the Civil War?
It could have been.
They're not saying it could have been, they're saying what if?
What if it was?
Then it was, I guess.
Yeah.
What if you woke up to see that thing in the middle of the night?
A tribute to our veteran. We honor you. But what if they didn't?
Oh, yes!
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is how it happened.
You ready?
No, I feel like I've been preparing for this my entire life. Oh, this is where it all comes to this. That guy's in here. Here lies the thing. You ready for it? It's that guy. It's a fucking...
Did they give it a doll?
It's a child or something.
So how do we make $10?
Well, I've got some Party City stuff, and I've got like a lot of rags.
And what if it's not?
But what if it is?
But what if it's not?
But what if it is?
So yeah, you can consider me convinced.
Oh, we made it back to this guy. Good. Oh, see, now we have the context. Now we understand what the helmet means. We've come full circle.
This trip has been wild so far. We had a creepy drive down a dark country road, a spooky and mysterious cave tour, and now an alien conspiracy theory. Overall, the first half of this year's road trip has been really scary. But you know what isn't scary? Getting a quality science education. That's why I'm so glad that the sponsor of today's video is Brilliant. Brilliant is an everyday learning app that puts fun, interactive, high-quality science and math lessons right at your fingertips. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up your brain, Brilliant has something tailored just for you. And because Brilliant, myself, and my subscribers all love learning, they're offering you 30 days of unlimited access, absolutely free, plus 20% off an annual subscription to Brilliant Premium when you use the link in the description below, or just go to brilliant.org/ForrestValkai. With Brilliant's wide catalog of thousands of lessons, they make it easy to learn at your own pace. Personally, I always recommend diving into their scientific thinking course. It's perfect both for people who aren't super confident in learning science yet, and people who already love learning it. Anyone who wants an introduction to the forces shaping their everyday lives in ways that they've never thought about. And I promise, once you start thinking like a scientist, you'll never look at reality the same way. So get started today at brilliant.org/ForrestValkai, or just use the link in the description below. Remember, you get to try everything that Brilliant has to offer absolutely free for a full 30 days, plus you get 20% off an annual subscription to Brilliant Premium when you use my link. Having survived our harrowing encounter with the Thing, we made our way to Tempe. 109 degrees.
Hotel a little bit early, which is really good because I've still got quite a bit of editing to do. This is the new series called Biologic. Episode 1 of this should be coming out actually while I'm at VidCon, and so you can see there's still some holes in here that I haven't quite filled in yet, but pretty soon this will be all done. I'll add some music to it, and then this will be the beginning of a new series. So if you are seeing that or have already seen that, you now know when I did it. Tomorrow we've got a long drive to Anaheim. We're going to get there also pretty early so we can wash all of our laundry and get to the hotel as early as we possibly can and just kind of get everything set up, because VidCon is an ordeal. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work, and so we want to get there nice and early and make sure we're all settled in and squared away. And that also just gives us some time to explore Anaheim, because Anaheim is just like an amazingly chill and fun city. It's one of those places that we just really feel at home, and that's really, really nice. So if we can spend a little bit extra time there, I'm not complaining about it. Anyway, I will keep you updated, and I will see you in the morning. Good night. Beautiful sunset from our hotel. And then over here is a mountain with a big old A on it. It's the next day, and we are now leaving Tempe, Arizona. We have been holed up in the hotel room for a little while as I finish editing and like preparing everything, because there's no way I'm gonna want to do any of that once VidCon starts. So we are now driving straight through to Anaheim. It's about 6 hours of driving, and then I need to find a place to chill so I can add
the soundtrack to the video, and then the video's done. Look at these pipes. Tell me you're not excited about these pipes in a cage. Chilled hot tubs. It's so hot, they sell cold hot tubs here. Hell yeah. We just call those pools.
As we were just about to hit the road to California, we saw something off the highway that forced us to make what was possibly the most important stop of the entire journey.
Oh my fuck. There's a White Castle, y'all. This is the best road trip. This is the best one so far. Nothing quite makes me smile like a handful of beef and onion sandwiches from a medieval themed restaurant. That shit made me want to listen to Mickey Avalon and go buy a sweet leaf. Onward to Anaheim. Last mile of Arizona. California.
Welcome to California.
Yeah! We finally got one!
Now we must be inspected.
I think we've taken a different road into California each time.
I don't know. It was delousa.
Coming into Blythe. GPS is telling us that it's going to take over an hour to get just 40 miles down the road to the hotel.
Come in, please, 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 please. Oh my god, I'll suck your dick. Thank you.
There she is. That's the Feature Creator Hotel. They gave us this balcony, which you can't actually access, but down there is the atrium, the whole like main section of the hotel. And out there you got the fountains and everything. This is our favorite view every year. I genuinely can't believe that we're back. VidCon is one of my favorite things, if not my absolute favorite thing that we do every single year. It is just an absolute dream come true for me. It's something that I've wanted to do since I knew YouTube was a thing, since I knew VidCon was a thing. This is the kind of thing that like just personified and embodied my dreams to become a content creator. And now I'm here for the third year in a row, and that feels so absolutely monumentally insane. Am I saying absolutely enough? I am so stoked to be here. I've got a lot of really cool things to do while I'm here. I've got some really cool shows while I'm here. I'm going to take videos of all those things as well as just whatever else I can around the convention. You will now be seeing a montage of those things. I hope you enjoy it.
Please welcome the renegade science teacher, Forrest Valkai.
VidCon is complete, and as always, I had an amazing time. I met a lot of really cool people. I learned a lot of really cool stuff, and I met a tremendous amount of fans, which was wild. It was way more people came out to see me this year than any year in the past, and that was nutty. And now we shall get breakfast and maybe like a cup of tea and stuff, and I'm worn out. I've been carrying like science kits and stuff across a convention center for several days, and I'm real beat down, and I'm gonna get some food, and then we've got a 4-hour drive to Las Vegas, where we're gonna go see Penn and Teller at the Rio, and maybe do some other stuff while we're there, I don't know, and then we head from there to, I believe, Albuquerque, and then from there straight to home, and we have just enough time to like do some laundry, and I've got to edit episode 2 of Biologic, and then we're going back to Ecuador. This is the craziest summer that I've summered in. I couldn't even tell. I think this might be the craziest summer that I've ever summered. But I'm excited to have you along for it, and I can't wait to show you more videos and more cool things that I do. So until not until next time, the video doesn't end here, but like the next thing you'll see is now we're driving onward to Vegas. This place is awesome, by the way. Masala Craft, it's right across the street from the Feature Creator Hotel. And it's really, really good. And if you're around this area of Anaheim, you should totally go there and check it out. Or don't, I'm not a cop. Goodbye, VidCon. I love you. Doesn't like show just how fucking big it is, you know? Like, it doesn't look real.
That dick? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about oh my god, we made it back to fucking Eddie World.
For those who aren't familiar, Eddie World is a fever dream that exists in the middle of the Southern California desert. As soon as you walk inside, your senses are assailed with colors and smells and sounds and more candy than is either safe or responsible. The mascots of this company are these horrible flesh spheres that guide you through the labyrinth of stuffed animals and sugary delights.
What is that face? What is that face?
It's a great place to stop if you want to be a little overwhelmed on your way out of California. With our snacks secured and our sanity barely intact, we headed for Las Vegas.
Creeping up into Nevada.
Welcome to Nevada.
There she is.
What is this? Is this where everyone wants to go?
And this is where Nevada began, and so they put a goddamn roller coaster and a casort in Rosino. I need to go to bed. Look at Terrible's entrance. It's behind a goddamn tree. Terrible's entrance. Oh fuck. God, move out of the bucket. It says Terrible's entrance.
This is a Bass Pro Resort and Casino.
Oh.
Just fish slots all day.
Fish slots.
You win guns.
Who voted? Who voted you the top lawyer? How is that even a thing to vote for? Top of what? Ram statue. Statues of rams. A lot of rams. A lot of ram statues. Out here in the middle of fucking nowhere. Built a city so that we can build statues of wildlife that would be in this area if the city were not here. Oh fuck yeah. $4 fireball. Are you the victim of a crime? Will Jesus save?
Call Jesus.
Everything's so huge and spectacular here in Las Vegas. Look at the size of this urinal. Here's the window of our hotel room. We got a great view of this sign for Lee's Discount Liquor. Perhaps the nicest part of this hotel room is the piss window, where you can just gaze right through here and watch your partner dump. The dream of the 90s is alive here at the Rio Hotel and Casino.
The view from our hotel window got a lot more interesting as night fell. But even more interesting was the Penn and Teller show. Penn and Teller have been heroes of mine for a very long time. Both their stage presence and their advocacy for skepticism were huge influences on me, so getting to see them in person was really special. In fact, it was one of the only reasons we passed through Las Vegas this year.
Well, today was a lot more relaxed than the past several days have been, and I have eaten like 8 White Castle burgers, because there's a White Castle around here as well as a huge bowl of like pork belly noodles, hand-pulled, delicious, wonderful noodles, and an inordinate amount of like rolls and like spring rolls and dippy spicy dumps. I'm very happy. This is a wonderful day. And tomorrow we get to go to Albuquerque, and then we get to go home. And I immediately start prepping for the next 3 trips around the Galapagos, and also the next 3 conventions. This year is nutty. Like all of the nut. Just straight up nut. I'm gonna go to bed. I hope you've enjoyed watching this so far, and we've only got a little bit left, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Shackled by lust, Jesus sets free. What's he gonna do, get you off? Well, it's the next day, and we had to get the fuck, my hair is still moist. We had to get the fuck out of that stinky hotel. They offered us like an upgraded, refurbished room when we checked in for a upcharge, and we were like, nah, we'll just take whatever comes with the hotel. Yeah, we paid for a pretty high floor anyway, it's all right, we'll just take whatever. Should have taken the upgrade. Because like, not only was all of the decoration and like furnishings incredibly outdated, which I don't care about the decorations, but like the fact that everything had like a nasty old like yellowed wire plug-in that looked like it was gonna electrocute, you know what I'm talking about? But also the whole place, like that whole room and the hallway leading up to the room, like that whole half of the hotel just reeked of old nicotine. Like that place stunk like a nasty old apartment, and I am so glad to be out of that place.
Downstairs was worse.
Yeah, no, downstairs was significantly worse, because like in the casino area, people were still smoking and drinking, and there were some parts of it where it was kind of pleasant. It just smelled like sweet tobacco, like cigars, like a little bit of brandy. Like it smelled like my dad a little bit. But there were other places where it just smelled like a cigarette box farted, and that's what our room smelled like. And I woke up several times in the night like desperate for fresh air. Like it was just gross, dude. Anyway, tonight we'll be going to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where we'll be staying for the evening, and then we're gonna go to some museum. I believe it was like the Atomic something museum. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. And then we go straight home the next day. We are nearing the end of our adventure, and I can't wait for you to see the end of it. See you there. Bye-bye. It's not California at all. This is fucking stupid.
Welcome to Arizona.
Hey, you're early.
Shit. Okay. They did not want to be in Arizona.
There we go, across the thing now. Now I will accept that we are in Arizona. Advertising is prohibited here. Hey, this is Forrest, Valkai, Renegade Science Teacher. Don't forget to subscribe. Massive pine forest out of freaking nowhere. We must be close to Flagstaff. Made a pit stop in Flagstaff for spicy tofu bowl. The adventure continues. Here it is.
Welcome to New Mexico.
from
Arizona.
the tippy top all the way there.
Well, we finally made it to the hotel in Albuquerque. That was a long and arduous day of driving. And tomorrow is another long and arduous day of driving. In fact, it'll be actually even longer because it's a little over 9 hours to get back to Tulsa from here. So we're going to be getting there late at night, maybe 10 or 11 at night, and that's if we really hustle here in town, because we're planning on going and checking out a museum first thing in the morning. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow, but I'm very, very excited to be home. This year's road trip has just been a blur. It is genuinely difficult for me to tell at this moment if I've put more content in this video than the past 2 years, or if there's like nothing in this video and it's just going to be the most boring one. I can't tell how this video is going to look, and usually I'm like building the video in my mind as I go, but I've got so much going on all at the same time between this and editing the other videos and planning for the other Galapagos tours. I genuinely have no idea how this video is going to come out. So if you're still watching this video right now, either it is an absolute banger or you just genuinely have nothing else better to do, or both. It could be both. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you in the morning. Good night.
It's the final day, and now we're gonna go to the Albuquerque National Museum of Nuclear Science and History, learn some cool stuff about nuclear science and history, and then it's a 9 and some change. Oh my god. And then it's a 9 and some change hours drive home, and then we'll be home. It's the final day. We are gonna try to scrounge up some sort of breakfast thing, and then we're gonna go learn some cool stuff about nuclear physics, and you should come along for the ride. Let's go.
The museum contains an astonishing amount of information about science, war, radiation, rockets, x-rays, bombs, and everything else to do with atoms. They even have a Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab kit for children, a real science kit which contained a Geiger counter, an electroscope, a cloud chamber, several actual uranium samples, as well as other radioactive sources like lead and zinc, so that you could see alpha, beta, and gamma radiation, and even a comic book on how Dagwood split the atom. That's an actual thing that was bought and sold in this country. That is some Fallout 4 level of insanity. The development of atomic theory is one of my favorite stories in the history of science. All the way back in the 5th century BCE, Greek philosophers were pondering about what things made the things that made the things that made everything. Surely, if you can split something in half, and then split that half in half, and then split that half in half, there must be a point where matter is fundamental and unable to be further separated, right? Eventually, Democritus proposed the idea of tiny units of matter which are indivisible, or in Greek, atomos, the adjective from which John Dalton derived the word atom in 1803. While Democritus was correct about the existence of atoms, he believed that they were uniform, incompressible, and indestructible, and we've since learned that they're a lot more interesting than that. Dalton figured out that the atoms of each individual element were identical, and that it was, in fact, the different types of atoms that distinguish between one element and another. But his model of the atom was a solid, indivisible sphere. It wasn't until 1897 that J.J. Thomson discovered electrons, showing that atoms were actually made of individual parts. Not so indivisible after all, it turns out. But atoms still appeared to behave as solid units, so Thomson proposed what's known as the plum pudding model, with electrons floating around in a spherical cloud of positive charge. In 1911, Ernest Rutherford shot charged particles at a super thin sheet of gold foil, showing that most of those particles passed straight through as if there was nothing there. This would only be possible if atoms weren't solid clouds of positive charge, but actually mostly empty space, with positive charge consolidated into a central nucleus around which the electrons orbited. This gave rise to the nuclear model. Not long after this, in 1913, Niels Bohr refined this model by proposing different levels of electron orbit. This planetary model did a much better job of explaining things like chemical bonding and molecular geometry, but it didn't cover all that we were learning about quantum mechanics. Finally, in 1926, Erwin Schrödinger found that electrons don't move in set pathways around the nucleus, but in ways that more closely resemble waves. His quantum model states that it's impossible to know the exact location of an electron at any given time, and instead, electron orbitals can be drawn as clouds of probability, the total range of places where an electron is most likely to be. And this model is still widely accepted as the most accurate and useful depiction of an atom. And while all this was going on, other great scientists were teaching us amazing things about atoms. Scientists like Einstein, who's featured in this museum as an animatronic puppet who teaches kids about physics.
All right, Albert.
What is gravity? Oh, that is a very good question.
Oh, it just twitches.
We also came across these displays about carbon and nanotechnology, which I immediately recognized as one of the traveling exhibits that came through a science museum that I used to work at as an outreach educator and curriculum writer almost 10 years ago. And that was a very weird feeling. Having learned all that we could about nuclear physics, we began the longest stretch of our journey, the drive back home to Oklahoma.
You know I'm passing these cars.
Oh, fucking... What do you want, sir? Like, we're passing people. What more could be done to satisfy your urges? Get out of my crevice. There he goes.
Mind if I had to hit the brakes for any reason?
That guy really has to poop. Something tells me we're getting closer to Oklahoma. I don't know what it is, just something. A little bit of coming home, Rainbow. A little bit of homebo.
Did you just call me a homo?
No homebo, bro.
It's a pretty rainbow, not homo.
Yo, I'm not gay, but that cloud is.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
No! I mean, yeah, but like, damn it. This year's road trip was an absolute blur. Between this, the Galapagos, VidCon, and all the other conventions that I've done this year, I had forgotten most of what happened this summer, and it was amazing to get to relive it all over again while editing this video. These road trip videos are some of the least viewed things on my entire channel, but they're some of my favorite things to make because I get to explore and goof off and try new things and bring all of that weirdness to you. So thank you for coming along for the ride for yet another adventure. And whether this video gets 1 million views or just 100, you can expect to see more things like this in the future. And I've already got at least 4 conventions and at least 1 more international trip lined up for next year, and I can't wait to show you all the footage from all of those things as well. I've got big plans for this channel and this career and this life, and I want to bring you along for the ride. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and all the other stuff that you do here on YouTube. Have an awesome rest of your day, and never stop learning. Bye-bye! Oh, it just keeps getting better, y'all.